Hey everyone, thank you for joining us on the show today. This week we're at Lake Eucha, northeast Oklahoma. It's a very, very small lake, but the one thing about this lake, it has big bass in it. So if you've ever been to Oklahoma, this is a place you need to visit. This week though, we're gonna be fishing in deep water, throwing a Strike King Sexy Spoon. Promise you, we're gonna put some big bass in the boat. But you know what? Fox Sports Outdoors starts right now.
You're watching the only program with weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors.
I'm Andrew Upshaw. I'm your guest host this week. A little bit about me. I fish the FLW Tour, have for quite a while now. And the one cool thing about my job is I get to travel all over the country and fish. And this week is no different. I'm on Lake Eucha in northeast Oklahoma. It's just southeast of Grand Lake. And the cool thing about this lake is it's not gonna flood like some of these other lakes have. You know, we've had an abundance of rain this year. Grand Lake, Arkansas River, all have been flooded. The cool thing about Lake Eucha, it has a spillway. You know, as you can see here, it is an awesome place. It has some big bass, some deep structure, and hopefully that's what we'll catch today on our Strike King Sexy Spoon, among other baits. You know, in the meantime, we're also gonna have fishing reports from our insider reporters. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get this boat out here. I'm ready to go catch some big old bass. And I'm gonna go ahead and toss it back to FSN Studios for your weekend planner.
Hi everybody, a check of the Salooner tables shows Saturday as the best time to be on the water this weekend. Conditions are listed as good with peak times in the middle of the night and also in the afternoon beginning at 2:32 on Saturday and 3:35 on Sunday. Look for the sun to rise at 6:44 and set at 8:26. Evenings will feature a moon that is only 9% visible. Stay with us for freshwater and coastal fishing information from around the region. And MLF angler and two-time angler of the year, Gerald Swindle, stops by to answer your Ask the Pro question. We're coming right back.
Idling out here on Lake Eucha, and I'm going to tell you this, it's kind of hot today. It's almost dead calm. We got a little breeze on the water. You know the thing about August, this time frame, is it's gonna be hot no matter what. And so, you know, the most important thing is to go out there early and late if you can. And that way you're gonna stay a little bit cooler. Make sure you carry a lot of ice and a lot of water. But in the meantime, I'm gonna go see if I can go catch me some bass.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Lou's. Feel the difference. Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland, the best in bass and crappie lures, heads to tails. Glacier Glove. Stay outdoors longer with our gloves, hats, and shades. Gulf Shores and Orange Beach. Request our free 2019 fishing guide at orangebeach.com.
I didn't know Lake Eucha had fish like this one. Oh, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Ah, oh gosh. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. That's a big one. He had it as soon as I went to hop it up again. Oh, man. Dude, this feels like a really big one. Holy cow. Come on. I just caught a white bass the cast before this swimming that spoon. And if you notice, sometimes you catch a white bass, and that's actually what triggers that school into biting. I don't know if this is a white bass or not, but it feels like a big old fish, whatever it is. God, he's staying down. That's the thing about these summertime fish. A lot of times they stay down. Oh, he's right behind a school of minnows. They're actually chasing my line. Oh my gosh, what do I have? Oh my gosh, that is a giant. Holy crap. Look at, well, I hope I land this thing. I want y'all to get a look at this bass. I didn't know Lake Eucha had fish like this one. Oh, don't jump, don't jump, don't jump. Ah, oh gosh, so big. So big. Oh, come here, come here, come here. You Lake Eucha giant. Oh, come here, come here, come here. Oh, gosh, I got him. Holy cow. Oh, I didn't know I was gonna catch one this big. Oh my gosh. Sexy Spoon, right there. Look at that giant right there, man. Oh my gosh. Oh, my first cast on that school of fish that we found was a white bass swimming that spoon. And I'm telling you right now, I bet swimming that spoon actually triggered, when I caught that white bass, actually triggered this big one into biting. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I landed this thing. This thing is a giant. I mean, he's got to be close to 6 pounds, maybe a little bit heavier. Let's get him back in there and let's take a look at this fish, man. Like, holy cow. Look at that fish. Wow, look at those shoulders on that thing. So if you notice right here, we're right next to our marker buoy. Found this school of fish. They were on the end of this point. There's a lot of points all over Lake Eucha, and all of them are pretty good, but the main thing that we were looking for was bait. Bait is the #1 thing that you look for in July and August, because sometimes they're not necessarily related to the bottom as much as they are the bait fish. As soon as we found that, we started swimming that spoon, caught that white bass, then caught that 6-pounder. I have to throw back out there. I'd love to talk to you for more, but I gotta go out there and cast that sexy spoon around and see if I can catch one more.
Hi folks, this week's Lone Star Lakes is brought to you by Tejas Custom Boots, who remind you that for your summer enjoyment, they have both flip-flops and sandals that are made from the same fine materials and by the same craftsmen that make their boots. Now this week we've come out to East Texas. We're here at Lake of the Pines. We've joined our good friend Seth Vanover because he's put us on some crappie, and I mean some giants. Now we went out and scanned the timber with the electronics looking for bait fish and crappie. When we found them, we were in about 30 feet of water, but they're in the tops of the trees. They're only somewhere between 12 and 18 feet deep. Drop those minnows down on them, drop crappie jigs on them. Some days they prefer one or the other. You'll figure out which and catch plenty of crappie. Now over at Cooper, it's hybrid time, and it's hot summertime hybrid fishing. They don't really even turn on until the hottest part of the day, around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You'll want to drop some spoons and slabs on them. You can try live bait, but the spoons and slabs seem to produce the most consistently. Drop it down to the bottom, crank it up 5 or 6 turns, then punch the button again, let it fall back. Crank it up 5 or 6 turns again, do that all the way back to the boat, and you'll connect with some Cooper hybrids. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you once again by Tejas Custom Boots. Check us out on Facebook, Lone Star Lakes.
If you notice, whenever I'm jerking the spoon, I actually grab this end of the rod, and it's to give you a little more, leverage. Is that a fish? Oh, that is a fish. Holy crap. But what I was saying is, you give yourself a little more leverage on those hook sets from a long ways out there. Oh, he's just swimming there. Oh, come on, baby. Stay down. Oh, there you go. Oh gosh, it's another big one. Stay down. Stay down, stay down, stay down. Don't jump. Don't jump. Come on. Oh, got him back down. There we go. Man, it's another good one, dude. Oh, there we go. Oh, shoot. Come here. The bad thing about these spoons is they get them like that. Whew. Oh my gosh, another big one, dude. All right, let's get him back real fast. Summertime, you always want to get them back in the water as fast as possible. There you go, baby. Here, go ahead, you're good. Tell you what I did right there. So I stood back up. I did not catch a fish on my next cast. Actually, it took me about 10 or 15. What I ended up doing is I shifted around the point, situated more on the right side of the point, casting across it to the exact same spot where I was catching those, but I wanted to bring them at a different angle. So started hopping that spoon. If you notice, whenever I was jerking that spoon up there, and I'll just kind of make a little short pitch so I can give an example. When I go to jerk it, I'm actually grabbing the back end of my rod and using it to actually push the rod like that. And what that does is it gives you a lot of leverage to jerk that spoon really, really hard. You know, if you just jerk it like this, you can only get so much strength behind it. When you use 2 hands, you can be really hard and give it really hard snaps. And you'd be surprised, that 15, 17 pound line, whatever size line you're fishing on it, it actually can handle it pretty well. But you know, I actually like a slower gear ratio speed on my spoon. And the only reason why is because you're already jerking it real fast. You don't necessarily have to have that really fast gear ratio. This is just a custom speed spool. And it's in a 6/8 to 1 gear ratio. But I tell you, probably the most important aspect of this, jigging this big Strike King Sexy Spoon, is this swim bait rod, this Marco swim bait rod. This is our very best flutter spoon rod. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Don't open your mouth, don't open your mouth. No, got him. Woo, woo, woo. There's one. Oh, there we go. Picked up. Oh, not a bad one. It ain't a big one. But when those fish get really kind of strange, you can pick up this Neko rig and catch them. Real light line. Oh, there we go. There we go. Oh, man. He's a fighter now. Oh, I might have to get these loose mock pliers out real quick and get this fish. He's just a little deep, not a big deal though. All right, let's get him back in the water. You always want to get these summertime fish back in the water as fast as possible, just because you want to make sure they survive. Wow, I had him hooked good. All right, there we go. Not a bad one, you know, on the little Neko rig. Let's get him back in. Okay, so basically, this is what your Neko rig is. I'm throwing a weedless hook here. I just like a weedless hook because if you're around stumps or brush piles, something like that, what you do is you get a little O-ring. You can find these at auto parts stores. You can find them at various tackle stores. And you slip that O-ring on. And in the head of it, you put a weight. So this is a nail weight that's in here. It's like an 1/8 ounce because we're fishing in anywhere between 18 and 20 foot. And then when you hook it, you just hook the plastic and hook just inside that O-ring. So whenever it's going, this is the weight end, that bait's pulling along, and when they eat it, they get that hook. But anytime the ledge fishing gets kind of slow, like it is today, you can catch them on a spoon, catch them on, you know, deep diving crankbait like a 6XD. When that bite stops, pick you up that little Neko rig, shake it down there, and you're gonna catch some more bass. I'm gonna go catch me another one now.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Louisiana Outdoor Report. I tell you what, coming to you from Cajun Paradise Charters right here on Calcasieu Lake. Right now, we're in full swing summer. I tell you what, all along the Gulf Coast, everywhere from Calcasieu Lake, Houma, Hopedale, Delacroix, lots of redfish, lots of speckled trout getting caught. Tell you what, offshore, red snapper action is good on the weekends. I tell you what, just get out there, have fun, and be safe. On the freshwater side of things, I tell you what, Lake Vernon and Toledo Bend fish a lot similar. Early and late, bass action, very good. Top waters, buzz baits, spinner baits up shallow. Midday, if you got to fish during the heat of the day, tell you what, throw some Carolina rig worms or Texas rig worms, 12 to 20 foot of water on your deeper points. Tell you what, you're going to have a great time doing it. Also, white bird action over your brush piles in 25, 30 feet of water. For Old Cajun Field, Captain Kevin Broussard saying happy fishing, may God bless, and we're going to see you next week.
Hey, to me, summertime in Oklahoma means white bass fishing, and it is even better this year than typical because of so much high water in our biggest reservoirs on the river systems, because we've had current going through literally 24 hours a day for the past several weeks. That has made the white bass fishing really good. Main river channel humps, target about 12 to 15 foot of water. And on this particular outing, we went to Fort Gibson Lake, took the family, the grandkids had a blast. We were dropping those jigging spoons, white color, down to the bottom, and tell them to work it like a yo-yo. Every time you lift that rod tip up, let it fall back down and hit that bottom again, shake it around a little bit, move it around. The current was strong enough as actually bouncing those spoons along the bottom. The fish were really aggressive. The fish are in great shape, they're big, they're fat, and they're hungry. Now I'd say the water temperatures are about 8 to 10 degrees cooler this time of year than normal because of so much water current going through, so it's also a great way to cool off when you get hot. And on this particular outing, the big boys had as much fun as the little guys because those fish were so big, so fat, so aggressive, and really pulling hard. Great white bass fishing in Oklahoma at this time, and you can catch them, but you can't catch them if you don't go.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Motor Guide's wireless and easy-to-use XI3. Waypoint Marine, the Gulf Coast's leading saltwater boating specialist. Strike King, tie one on. Nitro Performance Fishing Boats, because champions aren't born, they're made.
The Neko rig strikes a big one right there now. Check out that fish. My goodness. Oh, there's one. Oh, oh, oh my gosh. Whew. Now this is a beauty here. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. Whew. Come here, come here, come here, come here, come here. Don't open your mouth, don't open your mouth. No, got him. Whoo, whoo, whoo. The Neko rig strikes a big one right there now. Check out that fish. My goodness. I just caught quite a few fish on a spoon and they went back down, and it just goes to show you, pick up something else, something that you can fish a little bit slower, and it's gonna put a few extra fish in the boat. But I'm gonna get this fish back in the water real quick. Oh, there you go, baby. I'm gonna talk about my setup for this Neko rig. So basically, I use one rod for a lot of different techniques, and this rod is the Team Lou's Custom Pro Dock Sniper rod. It's a model of rod that is in a lot of different lines of our Lou's rods. But this particular one, I had a little bit of hand in designing. The Dock Sniper rod is a 611 rod, a medium extra fast action. So you can load that rod up, especially when you get those big fish like that one. And it gives them a lot of rod to play with, 6-pound line. But the cool thing about this rod, I use it for my drop shot. I use it for my Neko rigs, my wacky rigs. I even throw a shad wrap or, you know, a skinny type crankbait like that, flat-sided crankbait. It's just a really good all-around rod, and it has that perfect action to where you have a lot of tip to the rod, but a lot of backbone to set the hook on fish like that. So in the meantime, I'm gonna go see if I can catch me another one, because goodness gracious, that was fun.
Hey folks, Captain Greg Verm here for this week's Fox Southwest Outdoors Report. Hey, we're going to start this week's report right here in Freeport. I tell you what, we're catching kings as tight as 7 miles off the beach. We're in full summer mode here. Giant red snapper, amberjack, mahi, cobia, wahoo, and tunas. Gulf shrimping season is now open, and fishing around the shrimp boats is pure adrenaline fun. You never know what you're going to catch. Also here in Freeport, bay fishing is on fire. Hey, speckled trout in 3 to 5 foot over oyster shell is key. Hey, now let's move over to Galveston. I tell you what, Captain Ernest Trigo, hey, he's been catching almost every species you can think of along the Galveston jetties, both north and south. Speckled trout, redfish, Spanish mackerel, pompano, bay snapper, flounder, white trout, stingrays, and big sharks. Hey, lots of fun fishing going on up here on the upper Texas Gulf Coast. Hey, remember, if you want to fish inshore, offshore, or go flounder gigging here in Freeport or Galveston, and we have lodging right here at Bay's Landing, hey, give me a call or check out our websites. Hey, I'm Captain Greg Verm. I'll see y'all next time.
Ooh. Is that one? Oh, that is one. God, he's like taking off to the left, like big time. Is it a bass? Might be a catfish. Feels big. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, gosh. Okay, I'm getting back up. It's only 6-pound line here, so you got to really take it easy on these fish whenever you hook them. In the summertime, they get a little bit more sluggish, thank goodness. Oh, there he is. Oh, come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, there we go. Well, you know what? That's not a bad fish to end the day on. Another 3-pounder in the boat. You know, let's get this fish back. And the last thing you want to do is get these fish harmed whenever you're out here in the summertime. There you go, baby. Going out of here. So basically what we did today is we started out fishing a spoon up shallow, or out deep, but that was the first thing we threw. Whenever you find those fish that are really active, that spoon is a great way to target them. And these fish were feeding, they're feeding on big gizzard shad. So as soon as that bite actually stopped, that's when I went to the Neko rig. And it's understanding that change that's gonna put a lot of extra fish in the boat for you. So basically, this is what you gotta break down from this, is when you find those active fish, pick you up a bait that you can be active with, whether it's a spoon, a sexy spoon, a 6XD. There's a lot of things you can be really active with. But when you gotta slow down, sometimes you gotta slow way down. And that's what we did today with the Neko rig, and we put a lot of extra bonus fish in the boat that were pretty good ones. So, you know what? I might go make me one more cast before I head back to the dock.
You can always watch our latest episode on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Catch up on past episodes and learn about fishing techniques and new gear at our how-to page. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter for new fishing videos every day. Simply search for Fox Sports Outdoors and click the like button on Facebook and the follow button on Twitter. And watch a new episode every week on any device by downloading the free Waypoint TV app on your phone, tablet, computer, or smart TV. Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Mercury, Go Boldly, Lowrance, America's #1 fish finder, Balls Out, made in the USA, heavy-duty mounts for your fish finders.
Welcome back, everyone. Let's get right to your Ask the Pro question for this week. Dusty wants to know, what is the most scared you have been on the water? For the answer, we checked with MLF angler Gerald Swindle.
The New Orleans Bassmasters Classic, and I was practicing with Timmy Horton. We had boat issues, so we were practicing together, pre-fishing. It come up the worst lightning storm I'd ever seen. I mean, it was popping lightning all around us. We tried to run for cover. Lightning kept hitting the water all around us on the bank, and there was like a little bitty old hunting shack. And we got scared, ran the boat up on the bank, and ran through the grass and got in that hunting shack and just laid on the floor. I was like, dude, we're gonna die in this place. And it was like black. There was like, you knew there was a tornado somewhere. And when Timmy and I got done with that, I'm like, dude, that was the stupidest thing we've ever done. I mean, we almost got killed trying to practice for the Classic. And I this one, a few times I laid in there on that floor and I was thinking, this is it, man. There's no way we're gonna get out of this. But so watch yourself. Don't be caught out in the storm, folks. That ain't good business.
Thank you, Gerald. If you want some help from one of the pros, simply go to foxsportsoutdoors.com and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit a question. Now it's time to find out who wins this week's Big Catch of the Week.
This week's winner of the Big Catch of the Week contest is Jack Anderson of Norman, Oklahoma, showing his 6-pound, 10-ounce brown trout caught from the White River in Arkansas. To enter the contest, go to our Facebook page at facebook.com/Fox Sports Outdoors and see our Big Catch post from last Tuesday. Comment with your big fish photo and the details about the catch, and you might be our next winner. Just finished up the day here on Lake Eucha, and man, what a day it was. You know, the first thing that I picked up whenever I found those fish out there on that point was a Strike King Sexy Spoon in the Sexy Shad color. You know, the Strike King Sexy Spoon is a great flutter spoon to catch really big fish. In this lake, there are a bunch of big gizzard shad, and all across the South. If you have a lake that there's gizzard shad, in the summertime, you better tie you on a Sexy Spoon. I was throwing that on a Mark Rose Signature Series ledge rod by Lou's. It's our swim bait rod. It's a 7.5-foot rod, has a great bend to it, 15-pound Seaguar line, and a 6/8-to-1 Team Loose custom reel. I like a little bit slower speed reel whenever I'm throwing my spoon in case I am reeling it and stopping it like I was on that white bass. And my cleanup hitter this week, the Neko rig. So I had a weight in the tail, or in the head of the worm, the hook straight up and down, 6-pound leader line Seaguar, and also a 10-pound braid on that 611 Dock Sniper rod, which happens to be my favorite Finesse rod. I use it for just about everything. The only thing I don't throw this Finesse rod with is actually a shaky head. Everything else is fair game. This is the perfect rod for that. A Team Loose Custom Pro Speed Spin. Overall, great day. Had a lot of fun, caught a lot of bass, and some pretty good ones at that. Thank you for joining us for this week's episode. I hope you learned how to find and catch them here on Lake Eucha. Barry's gonna be back next week, but until next time, I'll see you on the water.